is hard. It is hard, and I mean, you know, as a used to go out.
So you want to do the touch tonight?
It's tough because.
Sure.
I think it's you
Like
for a while.
Indian Hills where I
I
live.
think I did it like 2 weeks ago, but it's fine.
So how do I even go to the?
So how you been?
Yeah, and the parks that we do have.
We're still busy.
Plenty on here.
Oh, we just started back up. Yeah, it's great.
Today was one of those days.
We're gonna get a
I got to
lighter-
work, I go, I really
Like,
don't want to be.
they're
I
used to
think we all get those once in a while.
you know, people that know are not supposed to do that. Yeah, right. Whereas they play.
I go into work, I drive at 5 in the morning,
At least plan on.
and it was already 74 degrees according to my car. 5 in the morning. I'm like, and the humidity was like 63%. I'm like, no, I don't really know what you know.
Do you work in a hangar or?
I work in a factory. KN has 6 different buildings. One of them is a big, 250,000 square foot. And we have smaller buildings with specialized equipment. And none of them are.
Yeah, I wouldn't even.
I mean, we have an air conditioned
Like,
break
I was
room,
in
Yeah.
the concert
stuff
before,
like
I'm talking to, I'm thinking, how do you like the band? I didn't say,
you know,
how do you like the band?
it just gets bad sometimes.
So let's talk about.
In the maintenance shop building, it's the one building without insulation, it's just a metal roof. And if it's 90 outside, it's 110 inside. And that's with the doors open, fans blowing.
So are you at?
They don't care. We're just the ones that are making the money. Right?
So Jose, how was school? You started this week or?
It's crazy.
What grade? What grade?
I'm the community liaison, so I work in the office.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm pretty much, you know, making calls, spreading to help.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's the socialization of kids, you know, we're like a year behind. So,
That's crazy.
it is.
It's gonna be busy. This year's gonna be so different. An adjustment for everybody.
It's interesting, but it's been a long week.
You're ready for Friday. I don't blame you. Oh.
But I'm glad everything's back. Kids are back. They're happy.
It is, it's good for everybody.
Yeah, that's what's important.
You know, Colby, thinking about it, since you have a screen in front of you that mimics that screen, so you guys should be over where those chairs are.
Well,
We've talked about that
we
too.
thought about that and then putting a public here, that was our, and we may try that next time. So we're just kind of trying it till we get it, you know, then we can go back, eventually, hopefully go back to our 2-2-2, you know, wait a couple years, 2-2. If you look on, because when Lynn's here, she's not here personally tonight, but when she's here, we need to spot her. And if the money bot is in the area, here we need a spot for him. So.
I'm fine with it. Just don't like it. Maybe. I don't know. I just. Might not be really.
No, I just don't look. I wish I.
Yeah.
So I can't,
No, right.
And they both.
I was trying to figure out
It's
how they can see.
So much of their lives is here. This country, you know, because we're-
So I'm just weird. I wish I might just do that.
Wow, okay, I've never seen you without a mask on.
Really?
But yeah, it doesn't do it. I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm a
I brought mine just in case I needed it. Vaccinated.
I know. Because some sort of.
I feel like I didn't get a shot in the arm for nothing.
I know, but we can't lift our arms.
Yes.
All right.
Ross, is the blue light on that in front of you?
Yep, the blue ring is.
Yeah.
If it goes red, let us know.
It's nice to,
So is
I
someone
didn't
gonna
forget the Wi-Fi.
I'm sorry,
Oh, go
talking
ahead.
right over you, like we're just not even talking.
I know, sorry. I'm used to it.
I wasn't gonna say anything rude, like it'll make you feel like. Anyway, I apologize. Is someone, Lynn or someone else, going to be here? Because I did have a question on
Lynn is on the screen. She's on the call. She's muted right now.
that. Okay.
I thought I could make her bigger somehow and it's not working like. We tested this.
There she is. We can see her.
I am here.
Hello.
We can see you.
Good. Can you hear me too?
You're about this big, but we can see.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good.
Does she need to change it on her end to?
No, I think just because the way I'm sharing it. I don't know if I can make her any bigger.
We were able to, all of you guys today.
Yeah, but we were on Teams, that's why.
We discussed if we needed to get another screen, just for.
Well, everything you're seeing up there is what the public's seeing now. So. You ready? We are good.
This clock is.
6:30.
I thought I thought, but a little bit.
Okay, I will call tonight's meeting of the Jurupa Area Recreation and Park District's board meeting to order at 6:31. And may we have the pledge, please?
Yes, please rise. Put your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And may we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Jose Luis Fernandez,
Present.
Edgar Castellan,
Present.
Ross Leja,
Here.
Rebecca Redorte Burns.
Here.
Kim Gerald Johnson. Here. Thank you.
Okay, now item 2, presentations and recognitions. I see we have some this evening.
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to invite Debbie Patterson up. She's going to talk about the safety committee and safety inspections, and also a little brief update on the senior center for you.
Pause. I'm going to use my notes.
Of course.
Gonna slow down. So I'm here to give you some information regarding the safety committee. For Capri standards and requirements, we are required to have 4 meetings a year. The district holds 6. Our safety committee consists of 6 members. Of our staff, 3 are elected. We have a president, a vice president, and a secretary. That's me. I create agenda for the meeting that consists of input from all of the members of the committee. Our meeting sites rotate throughout the district facilities and the parks. Slow down. We approve minutes from the previous meeting. We review employee incidents and accidents, seeking cause and preventions of reoccurrence. We also do the same thing for our patrons and our participants. Maintenance performs site inspections on our district facilities as well as our vehicles. We review those inspections reports and then from the district sites and the vehicles, and then we discuss it. We review past safety trainings. We review past staff safety trainings, then we also plan and schedule the upcoming staff trainings. We update unfinished business, seeing them through our completion. So basically, we update the unfinished safety issues, and then we see them through completion. We also discuss new business, suggestions and concerns for the parks, facilities, and from the other safety members. Then I type up the minutes and I send it off to our representative at Capri as required. So that's what we have for our safety meeting.
Yes, how do you acquire any information from the general public, or do you, I know you said you do inspections, you meet 4 to 6 times a year. How do you get those things that we might get as the parks Director, I mean, how do you receive them or do you receive them some way?
Our maintenance.
So one of the main ways the district receives input from the public when it comes to maintenance is through the e-Citizen app. That is an app that the city of Jurupa Valley uses, the city of Eastville, Jurupa Community Services, and JRPD. And it's a mobile app that's available. And anything you see within that jurisdiction, whether it be at a park, on the street, you can snap a picture with your phone, submit it, whether it be vandalism, a broken irrigation, graffiti. It doesn't matter if it's in the park or if it's city property or a water district property, and the app automatically routes it to the appropriate agency.
Oh, do you?
So we receive a lot of input from public that way, primarily in regards to graffiti and irrigation issues. A lot of people are out walking the park in the evenings and they'll see a leaky sprinkler or something, snap a picture, report it quick and easy. They can either do it anonymously or have an accountant log in. If you have an accountant logged in, once we've rectified the situation, we update it in the system and that person's notified.
And who promotes that? Is it the city that promotes it?
Every agency using it promotes it. Typically, when we're printing a recreation guide, we usually dedicate at least half a page to it somewhere within the recreation brochure. There's a link on our website. You can log on to the website, report it that way as well. When people call in, staff always lets them know. We'll go ahead and, we'll report it. But you can also do this, free of charge, download it yourself and any hour of the day, while you're driving around.
Does Capri offer their services once we get something that possibly we couldn't address regarding the safety issue? Can we go to them and have them assist us or how?
Typically, when we would refer something to Capri, it's either because somebody has filed a claim. Because, say they tripped on a step or something at a park, they filed a claim, that's where Capri would get involved. Or if somebody's reported an issue and we're looking at it and we're unsure the proper way to address it. That's where we would seek input from Capri, is it okay just to cone this off for the time being? Or do we need to take more advanced steps at this point?
Well, it certainly helps me to the questions I was asked. So thank you for that information. I now have something that I can give my constituents. And certainly an app, I think everybody's used to apps. They just needed to know that. I needed to know that. So thank you for that information.
And just to clarify, vehicle maintenance, that's done every Monday. Inspection reports, correct? And park reports are also done every week. And it's anything from, the staff's reporting, if there's graffiti or anything broken, if they cleaned up broken glass, they noted on those reports. Anything beyond that, that's noted for maintenance, work orders then created on it. And then that the safety committee's following up that they've been rectified.
And you mentioned that the safety committee receives training. What type of training do they receive?
Well, it's our staff. So Zena puts out training for our staff.
Most of it's online.
Yeah, it used to be called Target Solutions. Now it's called
Vector or something.
Vector Solutions, right?
Yes, I think so.
Sounds like mosquitoes to me, but,
Yeah.
and they have some 350
Yes.
online trainings available to us.
Oh, okay.
Are these like toolbox meetings?
The toolbox types of meetings,
We would call it
exactly.
toolbox meetings.
Yeah, well, for maintenance staff's toolbox type meeting, the rest of our staff, it's an online training. The perfect example would be during this pandemic, Vector Solutions put out a series of trainings on COVID-19. And all of our staff before returning to work had to complete these trainings.
Oh.
So it's something you can log in from via the internet from anywhere. So a lot of them, since they were working remotely, were able to take it at home, get these taken care of before returning to work. But they also do their sexual harassment training there, their mandated reporter training. There's behind the wheel training that they can do. There's all kinds of different ones that get assigned to staff.
And once that training is completed, I would imagine we get a copy to
Yes,
file
we get
somewhere.
certificates and we give a copy to Loretta.
Who's in their personal.
And that goes in the personnel file.
Is this just like a company that we have like a subscription to provide these trainings, or is this through Capri? or-
Through Capri, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that the same sexual harassment training that the board took the last time?
The board has a different one, the supervisor level one. The one that majority of the staff has to take is just the basic one. It's only an hour long. Supervisory ones are 2 hour long but they offer them both.
Okay, because that one was for lack of a better term, odd.
Mhm.
Okay,
And speaking on that topic, so our staff would be trained, or if I heard you correctly, they have been trained on sexual harassment. We've used Capri, we've used that online. And again, that particular completion then went to Loretta to put in their
To our
personnel
files,
file.
yes.
And those trainings, sexual harassment is every 2 years.
Yes, we've had a lot of trainings.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
got
that-
several little certificates in my file.
Well, you know, having come from that field, it's very important to both those that earn it and those that need to know that
Exactly.
I'm looking at your file and I noticed if we need some updates, so it works both ways, but I certainly do support that.
Questions from side of the room?
No question.
So now to my senior center. Since opening the doors on June 15th, the senior center has 220 members now.
Nice.
As of August 2nd, our lunch program is back in person. We have back in person dining. So our seniors are so thrilled with that. They love that. We have 2 seatings available. We have an 11:30 and a 12 o'clock. And that's to keep our counts down because we're trying to stay safe for all of them too. We have anywhere from 40 to 55 seniors eating lunch in the day. So as you can see, I gave you all a quarterly newsletter that we are working on. Janet is so amazing at that. She has worked on that. So we give our seniors they love these. They look for these when they get into the building because they want to know what's going on. So our pool players have come back. Our pool players are back. We
With a
have,
vengeance.
yes. We also have our card playing players are back. We play, Mexican Train is back. We have watercolor painting classes that are back. Pool team classes. We have a brain exercise class with the UCR students who are coming and volunteering for that. That's a lot of fun for them. I didn't bring you a paper on that, by the way. We do have other classes that are starting up next month, like our sewing club and our painting club. I guess that's with acrylics. And then we have a wreath making class that they're gonna be doing. We also have our National Senior Citizens Day coming up. So we're gonna be giving them root beer floats. Remember last year we did that? We're gonna be doing that again next week.
I'll be there.
We have our Crazy Hat Day, our birthday celebrations, which are every 3rd Friday of the month. We have board game day, we have sports day where they wear their favorite jersey. And then we have dances that we have planned. Hopefully, God willing, we'll be able to do that. We have a company coming out to teach our seniors how to use their smartphones and their tablets. We also have a few seniors who have been using the computer lab. But we're working on volunteers with UCR to find some instructors to help us with that, but right now they're just not ready to come back in person. So we're working on it. Our exercise classes are coming back. We do have a Zumba Gold and a chair exercise with RCHF. Is starting next month. Let's see. We have a couple of sponsors, and our sponsors are sponsoring our coffee. So we have someone that's sponsored to the end of the year so we can give them free coffee. We also have a birthday celebration where another sponsor, she has sponsored the cupcakes. And then we have another one who has sponsored our dance and our karaoke music. So we're excited about that too. We still have our Feeding America food program, so that's once a month. And then we still have our pool and warm centers that are going on. That's pretty much it. We're excited about how it's going. Hopefully we could stay open and, you know, they're all wearing their masks. So we're excited how it's going right now. Any questions?
Yeah, not to take the time to read, but I know that there are spots where there are English and Spanish, but there are spots where the program is not quite in Spanish. Is there a reason for that?
We have, isn't it on the front? We have.
Well, yeah, so I'd say some of it is and some of it's not. So I guess my question is the some that is not, I'm not really reading all through it. In terms of maybe separately identifying exactly what you say in English to exactly what you say in Spanish, is that what is here or?
Pretty much, yes. I
'Cause
think,
I'm not quite seeing it that way. I'll kind of
This is
defer.
our first
this is our
one.
first, our first one that we're doing.
Okay.
It's gonna take a little bit of time to get everything in there and
Well, okay, then having said that, I would strongly recommend something like that, and I'll defer to my colleague in terms of, I know that you do translation, like, correct?
I can make suggestions if you'd like.
I think one of the things we're looking at, part of this too, is the cost of printing. And we're seeking sponsorships for the cost of this. As Debbie said, these things are going like hotcakes.
And they would, as I was there at an open house, I stayed there on the outside. And what I heard was Spanish. I introduced myself so that I would say, you know, I too speak Spanish. So that is why I'm recommending, and again, I'm not reading it in its total, but yeah, they were happy, they are happy, all of that. But definitely they would focus right into that language that they could read. So that's the only thing. I think it's beautiful. I think it's, you know, what, you know, everybody's been wanting, so you really fulfill that. But yeah, just exactly what is in English should be in Spanish, because they're not going to go to the English. They're going to go to the Spanish
right.
to see what that program is about, what time is it, and that's it. That's what,
I
that's
think
what's needed.
I think we do have some of that on there. I think maybe we don't have it all on there, but there is.
Yeah, there is some of it. There is some of it. I see that. I read Spanish
I
as
will
well.
bring that to
Okay.
our staff attention.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah, my question is, you talked about the the cost of printing. Is that being absorbed solely by us, or is the city sharing the cost?
Good question.
Yes.
I don't know if we've even had the bill for this yet.
I think, did we copy these on the, we copied them here.
So at this point, we'll be absorbing at least the first round, but we're working on a sponsor for.
My thought being that if it was split between us and the city or something like that, then we could definitely afford to
Correct.
up the printing with the bilingual in there.
And we're being mindful of how much we are printing, so we don't want to overprint.
Yes,
Um,
and that would just be trial and error as time goes on.
and we only imagine it's gonna grow as the word gets out that the facility's open. Debbie and staff have done a great job of starting to promote the facility on social media. I think there was 12 followers when we took over the Eddie B. Smith Facebook page, and we're at a couple hundred right now. So it is growing. Word is getting out primarily because of the lunch program and then the added activities. You know, the senior population was one of the hardest hit during this pandemic. One of the things Debbie tells me a lot, because we're still limiting some of just our open socialization hours. It's just not open to come and sit and chat and talk still. There still need to be there for some sort of activity organized function. We are looking at adding some socialization time periods, but you know, large tables, groups of 4, things like that. It's one of the things the seniors are just really thriving for right now, because so many of them don't have that opportunity at home. We're being very mindful of the same situation too.
Yeah, I was gonna note that, what I did hear was, you know, this was a nice, cool place to be. So when you say there's some limits still, then I guess that's our goal, is to really be able to provide where they can't sit and just chit chat, even though there's not a program. I realize that we don't have that right now, but that is what they're looking for.
They are.
Another question is the brochure available on the website?
We're, as of Monday, we're getting help with that. I'm not, that one is a hard one for me. So Janet's gonna be coming. and
It's getting
working
there.
It's getting
But
there.
it will be eventually
Yes.
available.
At our staff meeting today, they have a training set up Monday to
Yes.
make sure everybody knows how to, they can publish that to our website.
Very nice.
Another question?
Questions?
Well, I guess I just have one. When you say the lunch is at 11:30 and 12, so at 11:30 they have a half hour to eat and then they gotta go and then the next.
Yes, FSA just has it going for an hour. So it's 11:30, they'll have to they eat pretty fast. And then they get up, we clean the tables, we sanitize the tables, and then we get it ready for the 12 o'clock session.
So one of the things the staff has done in the past, it was just kind of cafeterias had long rows of tables. And they're set up more in clusters.
They're in long rows right now, but there's only so many. We only can put however many we can. We cut it's 77 capacity, and then we cut it in half. So that's why we do the 2 sessions.
So every other seat
Yeah, so
basically.
yeah, we've taken a seat out of,
So there's only so many chairs in there for them to use. Okay.
And then the participants have to RSVP
yes,
Yes.
for
Every day.
their seat. So that way FSA knows how many to prepare. They typically prepare a couple extra, correct?
yes, they do,
And the 30 minutes seems to be enough time for
yes.
everything.
Could I suggest then, if in the future, because it sounds already okay, but just because I know that my mom did not eat fast, she ate slow, and she liked to, in fact, talk to all the people. So just in the future, if we could kind of just take a little, not so much a survey, but a pulse to, is that enough time? And hopefully we
So
can.
right now, we're doing that just because of the COVID situation.
Right, yeah.
Probably when we're out of COVID, it'll probably be a little bit longer, but right now, because we just, need everybody sitting so close together for a long period of time, get them up and eat your food and then get up, because majority of them eat really fast. The ones I have now, they eat pretty fast. So, and they want to get onto their activity that's happening at 12:30, so.
Just so we keep a pulse on it, because you definitely do have the program, that's for sure. So I was
Yeah.
just to certainly satisfy them with that program.
Got it. Any other questions?
You mentioned that per day, there's usually 200 to 250 seniors.
No. We have a membership of right now of 220.
Oh.
The seniors that come in right now, we have about 50. That's including our pool players and our card players. So about 50 or 60 a day that are in there. And then for lunch, there's anywhere from 45 to 55 participants.
How does that compare to the pre-COVID? How many were usually coming?
I was
per day?
told, I don't know.
From what we were, to be fair, we don't know. The record keeping prior was not up to standard. So if you recall from the grand opening, one of the things we're using is our recreation software. Everybody's filling out a new application, so we have emergency contact information, everything. And when they come in, they've all got basically, the keychain tag you have for the grocery store or whatever. They all have one of those. They think it's the neatest
They
thing.
do.
Because they can come in,
Scan.
scan in, it pops up on our computer screen, their pictures, we know who they are. Something were to happen while we're there, we have their contact information, we know who's in the building. And that's how we're keeping our accurate records of how many people are attending.
Okay. And the physical distribution is just available to those that come in to the center? Okay. That's it for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other
Any other
questions?
Thank you.
Debbie, thank you for a great presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I say it every time, but Debbie is just doing such a phenomenal job at the
Thank
senior
you.
center.
I love it.
They absolutely love her. When we took over, there was a lot of apprehension from the
Very much
seniors just because of change. And I think one of Debbie's biggest critics day one is now her best friend. So she's,
May I ask,
she's
who
just
is your assistant and what is the person's name?
Janet Palacio, she's another full-time staff with us.
Okay, thank you.
she's doing.
She's our specialist, and
Phenomenal
she
job.
is just phenomenal. She's my right and left.
Perfect. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, we'll move on to item 3, public comments. Do we have any public comments this evening? Okay. And then we'll move on to item 4, which is the consent calendar. Would anyone like to pull anything for the consent calendar this evening?
Mr. President, I'd like to pull the minutes.
Okay. Can we get a motion to approve the balance?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Mrs. Johnson.
Well, first of all, is your granddaughter's name spelled correctly? I did not verify that. It's Abigail, is that the way that she spells it? How does that
Abigail,
spell?
I believe.
Abigail,
G-A-I-L.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't have anyone by that name in my family. So
You know, I looked at it and saw it and I didn't think about that until you just said it.
5.4 was the item in which we discussed allowing hard liquor at Skyview. And as part of that, there was a discussion of a fee. But our motion doesn't seem to have that fee. And I have a feeling the motion is correct. I have a feeling that's not incorrect, but we made.
And so I did look into that for you, and I was a little cloudy today. That will be coming back for the approval of the fee as part of our updated fee structure. that is something that has to be publicly noticed for 30 days and it goes into 30, so that's where that portion of it will
Okay.
come into play, and that'll be coming the next month or so.
Okay, so we didn't. Okay.
Yes, so
I just didn't want
I
to,
apologize for not clicking right away earlier.
oh, that's all right. I just want to make sure that we have that correct because, we can't charge a fee that we don't have in our fee structure.
Yes.
Staff can't just decide, oh, we're going to charge X for Y. We have to have our fee structures. And I wouldn't want us to not be able to charge that fee. Okay, I move the approval of minutes.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion to second. All in favor? Aye.
I,
Motion carries 5-0. Okay, item number 5.1, which is the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 05/2021 of the Board of Directors of Newberry Recreation and Park District for annexation number 25 to its Community Facilities District number 2016-1. And who is giving the report?
I'll pass this on to Lynn, how's that?
Okay, sure. This is just the second reading of the ordinance for annexation number 25. So I believe that we just need to have a recommendation, the motion to approve the ordinance as submitted. And this is, again, the second reading. We've already approved it and the election's already been held. And this is the Emerald Ridge project.
Are there any questions coming up?
I did have a question, although I think by saying what it is, it probably answered my question.
22 lots, I believe it is, so that they would have a connection between the Emerald Ridge tract and the smaller kind of tail that was on the map. And that was so that they would be able to meet the railroad's requirements to only have one crossing.
8 of 16 or 74 of 82?
Yeah, it's not popping up. on-
Yeah, I think it might have been in your physical agenda, but on the
Yeah,
electronic
that's
version,
okay.
there was no map.
I printed it from the PDF.
I am drawing.
No, it's not on the electronic version. I looked for it today.
That is absolutely weird. I apologize.
It is on 5.2, but not on 5.1.
Okay, so as Lynn said, what this project is the original Emerald Ridge North project, which is up off of Canal Street. And then there's a second project that was, I can show it here on the map probably for you better. So this is the Emerald Ridge project north. And there's another one, this was this project over here that was approved many, many years ago. And it's just kind of set dormant. This Emerald Ridge North project, the fire department requires two means of access to the project. And because they have to cross the railroad to get into it, crossing the railroad getting another crossing is like pulling teeth. So it was easier for them to acquire this other parcel and connect them by a road. So that's where that long skinny strip comes from. And that gives them their 2 points of ingress and egress.
So the skinny strip is actually from the other project?
It's essentially land they purchased that will be landscaped and maintained through some sort of a CFD. It'll have nothing to do with us. It's just a very odd.
And then attached, then this is the other project? No, okay, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
I just wanted to understand
it's odd.
why we were getting, Why that?
If you think about the curve there on the hill, it's not buildable. And there's also a water tower through the Community Services District up there on the hill as well.
I'm just curious why that skinny strip is not in the Community Facilities District.
That's either the railroad or the access road to the water tower. I'm not sure which one.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the two. I think it's the access road.
To the water tower. I don't know.
Any other questions on this item? Okay. Then I will move that the Board of Directors adopt the submitted ordinance 05-2021 for the annexation number 25 to CFD number 2016-1.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is this a roll call
Yes,
or?
it is.
Okay.
Okay, Jose Luis Godinez,
Yes.
Edgar Castellan,
Yes.
Ross Lasia,
Yes.
Rebecca Redorte Burns,
Yes.
Kim Johnson. Aye.
Passes 5-0. Let's move on to 5.2, which is the adoption of the resolution of intention of the Board of Directors of the Woodbury Recreation and Park District for annexation number 26 to its Community Facilities District number 2016-1. And will this be Linda again?
Sure.
All right, Lynn.
All right. This is the recommencing of the annexation procedure for annexation number 26. As you recall, we had some ownership changes in parcels, so we redrew the map to exclude the city parcel as well as the hotel parcel. And the hotel parcel will be coming in on its own annexation at some time in the future. So this is the approval of the corrected boundary map and the recommencing of the annexation procedure.
Okay, and I just want to apologize because I realized I was looking at the map for 5.2 when I was talking about 5.1.
That's where I'm like,
Oh,
But there's two maps and 5.2.
one's
okay.
part of
So
the-
you're asking about the long skinny part of this one?
Yes.
I know that one.
Okay, yes, that's road.
That's the street.
Yeah.
So that would be, if you, this is Hamner coming down, the road coming in is Schleichman. That would be the extension of Schleichman.
Why does it come down and then come out and down?
Because it's entrances into parking lots and other parcels driveways.
Oh,
Yeah, if you imagine, right-hand, left-hand turns, I believe that's actually like a center median, not a roundabout, but a calming circle, I think is what they call them.
okay. Okay, so I apologize for that. I'm sorry.
Now we're all less confused.
Yes, we are all so much less confused. Now I just need to find out again.
And then that long skinny strip at the bottom,
Mhm.
that's a landscape slope.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions from any board members?
No.
I will entertain a motion then.
I move that the Board of Directors approve and adopt submitted resolution of intention number 2021-43 for annexation number 26 to CFD number 2016-1.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and we have a roll call, please.
Yes, Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
Edgar Castellan.
Yes.
Ross Leisha.
Yes.
Rebecca Redorte Byrne.
Yes.
Kim Terrell Johnson. Aye. And just for future reference, I didn't have the map in 5.1 either.
Okay,
I can present.
I was so confused.
Okay, I'm going to have to leave. I have to be at two places at once tonight, so I thank you for accommodating me virtually.
Okay, thank you very much, Lynn.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you. And honestly, the reason I put Lynn on the spot there, I wanted to see how the speaker was working.
Sounds great.
More so than anything, so
And apparently she could hear us just fine, so
perfect.
everything worked good. Okay, let's move on to item 6, which is communication hearing reports, and we'll start with our general manager's report. Mr. Diuguid.
Just want to give you guys a quick update on a couple of our programs. First of all, Spark, our after-school program, started a week ago Friday. Went Friday, then it's resuming this week. Our program at Del Sol Academy is maxed out at 56 students, and we have another 12 or 14 on the waiting list. Camino Real down the street here is maxed out at 28 students right now. And then the new program we have started at Vandermolen Elementary School, which is in the Corona Norco School District down on, Pass Road at 68th. We're only at, I think it's 9 right now, but they're on tracks. And this is the smallest track that's in session right now. And the end of the month, they're A and C, I forget what tracks it is that come online. And we're anticipating growth with that program. So we're excited about the return of the program. We are also excited about the new program at Vandermolen because it's an area that we haven't had much programming in the past. And it does serve a majority of the students do come from Riverbend, the Riverbend community, but also a good chunk of them come from the area in which we serve in Eastville. So it's a program we're able to offer for our residents of the district that are in Eastville as well. So we are excited about that program and how well it's going. Our youth basketball program is wrapping up. We have this Saturday and next Saturday will be the end of it for our games for this summer. It's been a very successful season, all things considered. We have had a couple of COVID positive tests with some of the youth participants, but through our contract tracing, there's been no exposures or transfers within the program. Some of the things we did this year is we took half the number of participants we would normally do. So instead of playing 2 games at one time during the gym, we're only playing 1 game, and then we spaced out the time between games. So game A was going on, game B could not enter the gym until game A was over, and they have left, and then they could come in and warm up. So the procedures we took, put in place for staff worked very well. And the parents all understood, nobody's been inconvenienced, it's worked very, very well. And we've also started something new this year with our older division. We've been playing some of their games on Friday nights, and they actually like it a lot. So I think it'll be something that we continue in the future when we're turning back into our winter program, which is typically our larger season of the year. Kind of the Friday night games, kind of the fun, cool thing to do. So we're excited for that. Debbie just gave you an update on the senior center, except the program's going well. The seniors are returning at a steady pace. We're really excited for that. So that's again going to be a huge thing going forward for the district here, because that was a population that we were not serving at all. So it's extremely gratifying to see. I think I said last time, I went in there and the pool players were there. They were so excited to see each other. It was like the first day of school where they hadn't seen their kids their friends all summer. So it was really, really fun to see.
Could I ask, Colby, did we have transportation accommodations prior to us taking it?
We don't have anything, but through the County Office on Aging and Dial-A-Ride, I believe for $1, anybody can get a ride from home to the facility, yes. Skyview Event Center continues to constantly grow with reservations and a number of classes that will be coming online starting next month. We're really excited about that. We are waiting for an exact install date for our new doors and windows. There's still manufacturer delays on the hardware. The doors cannot be shipped without the hardware. The hardware is still being delayed. They're telling me we're still in our 8-week time frame that they promised from day one, but they have not been able to set out an exact install day. They say they can have it done in 2 days, so we're trying to hold them to that, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. We have ordered bollards for the front of the building. They are on order and should be here in about 4 weeks, about the same time as the doors. And coming before you next month, or our next meeting will be a contract for the installation of those bollards.
Any thought, Colby, in regards to the land that presently has nothing on it in terms of landscaping? That was not an issue, but a comment made to someone that I had brought to the center.
It's something, it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Sure.
It would be quite costly to landscape it and maintain it, and then essentially rip it out in hopefully a couple of years.
But do you feel that maybe rototilling, whatever they call that?
There's only certain things we can actually do because of dust control, and those are actually planted weeds that you're looking at. They are a California native species mix, so they're supposed to be drought tolerant, resistant. We do have plans to disc it and actually I think it's gonna happen next week.
Oh, okay, so you do.
3 or 4 times a year as part of the approved maintenance plan for it.
Oh, okay, good, because walking up from the street, not so much from the.
They're a little tall right now.
A little.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do know staff was meeting with another contractor this week to get an estimate. Trying to keep it as affordable as possible. Where was I at?
Sorry.
So reservations there are coming in. I think our staff's meeting today. Nestor informed us. He's had 3 new contract signings, all for middle of next year, for various types of receptions and parties. We've had a number of reservations from the school district, as well as a couple other reservations that are coming in for midweek stuff as well, which was something we had hoped for. So during the day while kids are in school, so.
One other thought to that in terms of the parties that we presently are getting reservations for. Are we looking into getting businesses to come to us? I kind of envisioned that in terms of the training rooms that we have available in the big open space. I was always looking for something like what we have. So I'm wondering, are we focusing into the local businesses to come to us?
Yeah, and as I just said, we have a couple of midweek reservations. The school district has been one of them. They're a paying customer, as well as a couple other ones that are coming forward. I don't know who they are top of my head right now. But one of the things myself and Loretta were talking about today, she's going for her notary next week. Hey, we need to contact them. They'd be a perfect renter for a midweek type of a reservation there. And then I know Nestor has worked on a contact letter for all the local warehouse type businesses that are looking for hiring fairs, training locations. So we're reaching out and getting more and more of those types of people as well.
Yeah, I had mentioned that to Nestor because that definitely what is, as an HR professional myself, that is what I was looking for. And that is what HR people within these companies around us are looking for. I visited Amazon and on a personal basis, and they don't have, if you could believe, a large training room. So they do take the training and really put the workshops outside of their building. So I think we have a real in.
No, and that's something that we identified early on, even before construction started, as a, midweek while the kids are in school, so the building's not sitting empty.
Right.
And then Jurupa Regional Sports Park. AYSO soccer starts on Monday. That facility has been absolutely packed all summer long. AYSO though has informed us, and they've been communicating very well, but they're seeing about a 30% increase in registration over their spring season. So they're over 800 and maybe 850 participants. So that's going to be extremely exciting to see that many people back out to the facility. As you know, it's a huge facility, can more than handle that type of an event. And we've got 2 or 3 tournament reservations in now, all for next year. February and May, I want to say, is when they are. So that's exciting to see coming forward as well. That was one of the things, as the board recalls, at least the members were here at the time during the acquisition. One of the things when we got even the support from AYSO for us acquiring the facility was they felt it was being underutilized. And I think our staff has done a very good job of balancing the 20-some user groups that we have out there now, and bringing in additional, activities and stuff. Staff has been in contact with an organization, a nationwide organization that wants to bring out a soccer fest type of event. It'll be a multi-day event. Dates aren't confirmed or anything like that, but they're looking at facilities, as well as one of the things that had been hosted there in the past was a paintball tournament. And staff they've been in contact with the organizers of that. They're interested in doing something in 2022 as well. So not just soccer, but a regional athletic event type center is what we're hoping to make that facility. And it's starting to work. So we're excited to see that coming in. And I think you'll notice in your financials, the revenue is starting to, even from in the last fiscal year, is coming in like we had planned. So we are excited for that. And with that, I will wrap it up just saying that we've had a number of maintenance issues as of late. I've been trying to let the board know of. We did have one of the pumps burn up at the soccer complex. Luckily, we had a backup in stock. That's been installed, and the other one's been sent back out to be rebuilt to keep in stock. So if it goes down, we can't afford to not be able to water a facility of that caliber. So we can have it installed and back up and running on a fairly quick basis. We can go a couple days without any major problems, but beyond that, you're gonna start seeing the stress on the facility. We've had a couple of mainline breaks at Clay Park and Centennial, which you guys know are historic for issues like that. And then just a reminder, I think a lot of you were able to make it out, but we did participate in the National Night Out with the City of Jurupa Valley and hosted it at Granola Family Park. I think it was a phenomenal turnout. At one point towards the end of the night, the entire parking lot was filled. A couple spots were open here and there, but I think that's really the first time that we've seen that many people out there. So it was nice to be able to accommodate that without the traffic all over the streets and like they were historically. So it was a good turnout, and watching the helicopter land was fun.
Yep.
And now I'm done.
Now, the building, we were supposed to bring up the lease on the building and the purchase of this building.
Oh, you were
Asked
gonna,
that-
did
asked
you want?
that- Yeah, I asked if you would bring that up in your general manager.
And just an FYI, for those of you that may not be aware, we do not own this building. We are leasing it from the school district. The way the school district can declare and sell surplus property is different than how we as a public agency would be able to do it. At the time, when they listed this available, we basically entered into a lease with an option to buy at the end of year 5. And so end of year 5 is the end of this fiscal year. So next fiscal year, 2022, 23 will be a time in which we can negotiate for the acquisition of this property. So one of the things we did do is clarify the improvements we did to this facility will be deducted from the purchase price. We're not paying for them twice. Is that the best way to?
Yes.
The best way to say it. So we've had some preliminary appraisals done on it and discussions because the way this is zoned, it's a zoning issue. This is zoned
Commercial, isn't it? No, residential.
zoned residential,
That's right.
yes, but it's a commercial building. So to change the zoning would be extremely expensive. Therefore making the value of the building not much. So ideally, we'll be paying for the price of the land is essentially, there's gonna be a little more than that, but it's not gonna be astronomical. Cause we did, when we acquired this facility, we did put about 400,000 into it for renovations and repairs. This was in
Terrible shape.
poor shape, and there was a large mold issue that we
my God.
discovered after we acquired it.
Well, it was built in the 1950s. It was original headquarters for a Jurupa Community Services District.
Yes. And just a brief history lesson, it was the Jurupa Community Services District original office. We actually have a picture somewhere around here, sitting out here on Jurupa Road, facing kind of northeast, and there's nothing behind it but fields. JCSD left here in the early 2000s, I want to say. And they moved to their current location on Harold Street. The school district acquired it from the water district, and this was their textbook building for many years. And one staff worked here for some reason. And so the building was just beat up the floors were destroyed from pallets, and we did a lot of renovation to get to where it was at now. So that'll be something towards the end of this fiscal year. I've already had discussions with the superintendent. We're gonna be meeting here shortly to start negotiations on that purchase as well.
Thank you. I wasn't sure of the dates on everything, and so I know it started before I was on the board.
Yes.
So, are there any questions of Mr.
Yep, thank you.
Diuguid? No? Okay, move on to board member comments, and we'll start with Mrs. Johnson.
Thank you. Since the last time we met was our last concert in the park, and again, very enjoyable. I made 2 new Facebook friends at that event. They're now my good friends. And Tom and his wife, longtime resident, it was great. I also went to National Night Out, and again, very enjoyable event. It was so nice to be able to show up one of our facilities, so nice to be able to accommodate the city for the event that they were having. And it was just a really great event. My husband and I both enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Godinez.
Yes, I was also at the last concerts in the park. It was really enjoyable. It's a fun experience. I'm hoping we can add more for next year. Maybe add a mariachi or, whatever ideas come up to add for events. I'm looking forward to the night market as well. And I'm hoping we can add some ethnic events, maybe like a Dia de los Muertos, if you'll entertain our brainstorming. Yep.
Mrs. Byrne.
Yes, I too attended with my grandchildren and walked all the way in one way and all the way back the other. It was very enjoyable. I did want to ask in that, well, I've been doing my walks through my parks and Kim has been so kind to offer different ideas for me. I did want to ask you to give me some direction as to how some of my constituents can get on our agenda. What is the process to do that? Because some of the questions they ask, I'm not comfortable in answering, and I stated right or wrong, and that maybe you should ask to go on the agenda, but I will ask publicly.
I would ask them to contact myself.
Okay.
It may be something that we can just address. And if it needs to be agendized, it was something that would need to be requested from a member of the board, unless it was dire enough that I can't say, depending on what it is, how, I don't know what the situation is or their concern.
Well, then that's true. So you're saying they can't ask me, but perhaps I can then tell them to seek yourself out, or I would seek you to do.
Correct, yeah. And from that point, we would make a decision if it would be something that needs to be agendized or it can just be dealt with administratively.
Well, thank you. Again, I thank my colleagues for, and Ross as well, gave me some insights. That's what it's all about, is sharing. So thank you.
Okay, Mr. Castellan.
Yes, I was also at the last Concerts in the Park event, and it was a great event, a great turnout. You can see, part of it was because it was the last event, but also great planning from staff as well, from Nestor. So hopefully, hopefully we can add some more events if possible next year. But it's really great for the community, and I was really happy to see people turn out. Also, I wasn't able to make it to the National Night Out, but I saw that it was a good, based on our social media, that it was a good turnout, a great event as well. And great report from Debbie about the senior center. So in the midst of the pandemic, we're still providing great services for our seniors. So I'm happy to hear that, and hopefully if we are able to make it back to normal, we can provide more services to our seniors. And that's it for me.
Thank you. Yeah, the Concert in the Park series, the entire series was amazing. Staff did a great job. The largest crowds that I remembered are concerts in the parks this year. I'm sure that a lot of that had to do with people just ready to get out of the house, but for whatever reason, I think everybody really enjoyed it. Enjoyed National Night Out. I was able to get there just as the helicopter was landing, so that was pretty cool. And last but not least, I would officially like to welcome our 3 new board members to their first official board meeting in the boardroom this year. Yes, so
Thank you, Ross.
great to finally have it back here. And that's it for me. Okay, any future committee meetings needed?
We do need a park planning. There's some things in the works right now that's gonna need to come to the park planning committee, then ultimately to the board for approval. I'm just waiting for a couple of kind of dominoes to fall into place here before I can bring it forward. So I would just ask, I believe that is Mr. Castellan and Godinez. As soon as I hear information, I'll get a hold of you guys. I think afternoons are gonna be best at this point. Okay. So we'll be planning that. And then staff's finalizing up some special events and information for the upcoming next 6 months. We'll be planning a recreation special events committee meeting, just to review that with the committee prior to kind of announcing everything here.
Okay.
This meeting, will it be virtual or in person?
We'll make it whatever works. I know with work schedules and stuff, we'll do whatever we have to, so.
Okay, great. Would any of the board members have any requests for an agenda item for upcoming meetings? No?
No.
Okay, in that case, we will adjourn this meeting at 7:24.
Stop getting that pencil.